on survival. Getting past the fault lines, we're running, your hand in mine. Freedom, the song we're humming. You can't stop the storm from coming. One look, it all comes rushing. Wolves cry and lightning strikes. Dark sky and thunder rumbling. You can't stop the storm from coming.
Well, right now we're on 2nd Street here in Centralia. Back behind us is the Oddfellows Cemetery. Of course, St. Ignatius Cemetery is over here. And we are literally just feet away from where the St. Ignatius Church, the rectory, used to be. And what we'll do is we're going to do areas where people don't really know about, but they're no less important and of high significance with the historical value of the town. So we'll start off, we'll go down this way down the main drag, and we'll head down over to where Todd Domboski fell through the
That's what Chris was asking me about.
Right here, and this over here is where Cottingham's gas station was. 1979, they shut it down and tore it down because the fire was going underneath the gas station and the heating was 172 degrees, tanks.
He's the one that kept us doing the...
Yes. You can see this, you can see where the concrete was, where the pumps were and everything else over there. But over in this area here is where Todd Domboski fell through his grandmother's backyard. With the overgrowth, there'd be obviously people in short could hard to get in there. But now there's just like, it's like a pile of dirt, and they have a pipe going through there to help keep the gases out of it so it doesn't sink in again and whatnot. But all along in here, there was no less than 12 houses over down on this road right here alone. We'll head down to the next street, and I can show you where the last mayor of the town house was before they tore it down.
Is over here declared a Superfund site like Pitcher, Oklahoma is, or no?
I think Oklahoma, they still have some of the buildings up still. Here they're tearing them down as they were going. Although,
yeah, because Pitcher, Oklahoma was the one where it was a mining town and they closed it down because the chat piles got so
yes.
big and people were around hazmat all day.
Yes, I remember that, yes.
And if my memory serves me right, the neighboring town, Treese, Kansas, there's one couple that refuses to leave their double wide, everybody else left. I looked at it on Street View, and that town is so tiny that I don't think anybody would really want to live there anyway.
I hear that. In this clearing over here on the right was the last mayor of the town, Carl Walmer. His house, obviously no longer here, but it was one of the last houses that was standing before they tore it down, severely vandalized. And if you look closely here, you'll be able to see the chain link fence. This is the location where the first 4 houses were torn down in the early 80s when they did the relocating. The houses were of 2 houses of the Jurgel family, had 2 houses here. The Domboski family had a house here, and the I'm sorry, wrong street. Where am I at? I'm sorry, here it was the Owens house, the Dura house, the Murray house, and the Girolami house. We're over here in this fenced off area. These are 4 of the first houses that were torn down in the 80s because of where the fire was. And over here was the Gahn family house. This was their driveway here. This is the last house on this road on this side. The last house to get torn down here was the Walmer house. JP Videos did a video with Jeff Grant Media on it before his house got trashed. And the house was, at that time, was in excellent condition still. Then vandals came in and absolutely destroyed the place. And they finally tore it down.
Hey, I want to show you something cool. They had a makeshift swing set over here and a tree grew around it. I want to show you how it looks. Well, they had a pole going across. And you can see where the tree grew around it.
The pole's still
sticking out there. So they had a swing in between here. See where the pipe used to be? The tree grew right around it. You got a piece sticking out on the left there, sticking out right there. So the pipe going straight across, they had a swing here for the children. And the trees grew up and just encased it.
I watched this. I thought one of the girls.
The pipe was straight cut when the house was here.
Yeah.
The tree just grew. That was one of the first people to get in there, right when it became abandoned and they tore it down.
An interesting note there with the Girolami's house there was when they were doing the boreholes and they measured around the swimming pool, it was over 625 degrees.
Wow.
Instant hot tub. Back onto the main drag and we'll go over to where the VFW used to be. That was where they broke into the time capsule they had set up there and they ended up taking it over to Wilburton. They had to open it up early because of the stuff being ruined. Over here in this area is the VFW location. It was originally the home of the town founder, Alexander Ray. You can tell over here the stone wall, that was all done by hand. The VFW building was about around in this location, and that slab of concrete over there is where they had their Liberty Bell for the town. And in that little hole, that little spot there where it goes down, that's where they actually had the time capsule. It was scheduled to be open in 2016, but in 2013 somebody tried breaking into it. They did damage to it, and in 2014 they removed it, took it to Wilburton, where they opened it up to see what they could salvage out of the contents. There was a lot of paperwork that was lost, but they were able to save a miner's hat, a lantern, and some other miscellaneous stuff. Here on Park Street is where there's a water table underneath that goes from west to east, and that water table actually would have saved the entire town from Park Street all the way up to Aristides, up the hill. However, in the interest of the anthracite coal at the time, they decided they wanted to get everybody out of here, and they made the push to pull everybody out of here when they did eminent domain in 1992. However, there were a number of people who turned around and said that there was no need to clear out the entire town other than because they wanted the coal. Because from here, where we're at now, like I said, to the north, there was no danger of a fire, and if they did it right away, instead of $42 million to clear out the town, they could have done it for about 3 to 6. And now, mining for coal in America isn't even worth it because they can outsource it from China for 12 cents on the dollar.
I saw on somebody's channel where it was 2 of them that had like just cameras mounted on their bikes, and it was dirt bikes that had plates where you could ride them on and off road. Would they give you a citation for going on the Graffiti Highway with a vehicle like that, or no?
It's hit or miss right now. It depends on the mood. If somebody decides they want to call a complaint in, they might bring the cops might come up. If you're not acting like a complete total doofus, it really wouldn't be a problem. They've been riding cars, trucks, SUVs up there all the time.
As soon as those 2 people went over the little dirt hill and got onto the abandoned section, it was nothing but motorcycles and ATVs and people on foot.
Yeah, as long as everybody watches out for each other, it should be fine.
Because I'm thinking for, say, like the Pennsylvania Turnpike section that's abandoned, if you drove on there, they would think that people are going to use it for a speedway, so you'd be going to jail and losing the vehicle. But on foot, I would think it would probably be, depending on the cop.
Yeah, I mean, for a while there, they didn't have no trespassing signs up, and then the state gave it away. And for a while, nobody gave a crap. Then too many people riding up, mainly because riding up through the cemeteries and whatnot. Was the biggest complaint, which I can't blame them. I mean, they're destroying the flowers. They're not banging into stuff, shooting rooster tails up in the cemetery. There's no call for that.
Yeah, there's only one slightly different thing in the law that doesn't completely apply to that. Like a friend of mine that was sheriff's department in Jersey City said, that at one time there was an Elks Club or something that where they wanted to fence off their parking lot, but the commuters had usually been walking across their lot to get a shortcut instead of having to go all the way around the block.
Yeah.
And there's something in the law that states that they can't fence it off even though they own that parking lot, but they don't have to make it any more accommodating for anybody.
Right. We're gonna go up in here. Yeah, up in here.
Helping it smell like a fire for a second.
Yep.
Smells like burning fuel a little bit.
Yeah, it sounds like, it smells like the alcohol coming out of that quad. That's an alcohol quad. What we have here, this is the original swing sets that were here in this park.
You didn't get some?
These are remnants of the piping that was used at the time when they were built in the 1920s. You have to be careful. Right behind Alan here, down on his feet, is a tubing there that used to be for the merry-go-round that was going around that the kids could play on in the concrete there. And there's a small little playground area for the kids in the town. But this was set up way back in the 20s, and they managed to leave some of the piping up today, which is nice because it's easier to see this to be able to identify what it's about. These pipes up here were actually just swing sets from the 20s. This is how they made them in the 1920s.
Oh, okay, it really is just pieces of pipe.
Yeah. And when they made them, they decided they wanted to go total overkill because they never knew how big the person was going to be on them and whatnot. So they planned in advance. Whereas people grew up who still kept, you know, using the swings. They'd use the merry-go-round. There's the base of it right there and whatnot. And you know, just a little place for the kids to come out to play and whatnot.
It was actually funny. I remember, like, I was talking to one of the butchers I work with about this the other day. The old Shea Stadium, last time I was there in 05, and me and any of my friends were in high school and welding shop at the time. We're looking at some of the support beams and we're like, how are these people even certified? How is this structure even standing? And we're on it. And it was like, you could just tell by all the mistakes and stuff there, but it looked like even with stuff like this, they were just going to overkill, but back then probably didn't have the standards not to say weld over slag and not to make holes in the metal and stuff like that.
Exactly. You know, basically, like, as you see here with fittings and whatnot, basically they built it using fittings and screwed everything together. Which is, you know, which for what they use is a better system than, like you said, trying to weld over slag and putting holes in the piping and whatnot.
Oh yeah. I know whenever I used to build stuff from just whatever was laying in the scrap bin, the teacher would say just don't waste anything, but one time he goes, it's a cup holder, it doesn't need to weigh 20 pounds, and why do you have so many beads reinforcing it?
Yeah, right? Something else that I learned since the last tour, a lot of those sinkholes they were talking about, they're actually foundations that were filled in, and from the frost heave, from the dirt, and then when it melt off, the dirt would come out of it, it'd all go down, and that's what a lot of these holes are, is a lot of the foundations. Okay. They're really coming into play now.
Hey, speaking of that, where's that one that just opened up, what was it, like 2 months ago? Something like that?
Yeah, it was up closer to the church. That's the one that the state trooper told us about to stay away.
Yeah.
It was like 200 feet, like deep, I guess it was.
Yeah.
So you could fit a car in there.
Jesus Christ.
Wow. Yeah, it was up a little bit far up the hill, closer to the church.
Okay.
Okay. So what we'll do is we'll head down this main road and whatnot. We head down to the little ruins that are down there. There's still remnants from buildings, and like I said, there's a sifter that's actually down there. And if we look carefully on your side, we'll see a section of sidewalk that's raised up by a tree coming up through it. It's actually dated for when a house was actually put in. Okay, coming up on it right now. Yeah, naturally.
That.
And there it is. 1946.
That's cool how the trees going through it.
Yeah, the way the tree's going through it is cool. The fact that somebody had to graffiti it just absolutely stinks. But yeah, if you go up through here, you got to be careful when you walk through, because like I said, what's happening is what people were mistaken for sinkholes were actually foundations coming out because of the frost heaves in the wintertime, and then when it would run off in the spring as it would melt off. And when I was coming down through it, we were taking the time to look at it. I took time to take a look at it. You can actually see the stonework where they did the foundations. And you can see how it levels off to where the homes would be as well. And the way that it basically steps and slopes down to different spots. You can see how the houses were.
Oh, sure.
My dad had hired somebody else to remove 2 trees in their front yard when I was much younger, and years since I had been dumping dirt and rocks and where the stones used to be because they weren't like they're all over the place too.
Yeah, holes like this do exist here in the area. But there's a lot of spots where you'll see stone in them still, and like as I was saying before, and those were actually the foundations that are starting to resurface. Yes. I was coming back home from when my daughter was in the hospital in Danville. I actually came down because I want to drive through here. And I just noticed the light was on, so I came up through the pathway here, the alleyway over here. The guy was sitting there at the kitchen doing his dishes.
Oh, wow.
So that is still a resided in home.
So do we know how many people it is now that live here?
Approximately 5 are permanent residents. Of course, you never know who's...
There's a hole right there.
Yeah, there's another hole right there.
Got some bricks in there.
Yep.
Stones. You wanna climb them up?
Didn't Cliff go in there?
I think so.
Yeah, he's trying to see if he can fit.
Oh, there's actually a...
It's almost like this is a filled-in drainage area.
Hold on there. I think he stuck his camera on it.
I believe you're right.
So you can safe to stand on this?
Yeah.
There's that. That clip put shit in there.
We go off to the right. Yep, you can see steps to nowhere.
Yeah.
I'm gonna walk off and just going up for steps.
I used to say when I went down south after Katrina, because the houses were, just slab everywhere.
So those structures that are back here, you know what they actually are?
One was a sifting unit. I'm not sure. I guess for coal, but I'm not 100% sure. And then, what was it, like a garage?
The one was like a chicken house or something
Chicken
like that.
house?
Yeah.
Oh, let me know.
There's some more sinkholes here, so be careful.
Yeah, we gotta be careful. There are holes here.
These are literally the home foundations here.
wow.
Yes.
This one still has a stone lining around it. See the stone? So you can literally see where the house was.
Yeah, right here. Yeah. Yep. Get a real good look at it here. Well, this one unfortunately is out of my map range, but I'm standing in somebody's house.
I guess too that used to be level and just sinking down over time from moisture and
Yeah.
the weather.
Like you said, we get the heaves, then it rains, it washes out, comes down, washes up, comes down, and over 39 years, yeah. And there's our structures over there.
Yeah. Yeah. I grazed across like pickers or something. It's like stinging.
Check your ankle right there. You got like, oh, it's just a little scratch or something.
Right here.
That's why I wore long pants.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't do that either.
There's another hole.
I'm sure it's a little too late to have a couple of pants into my boots, but probably would have done.
Yeah. You got another hole right there.
Oh yeah,
This stuff is like
That could have been a well, something like that.
this stuff is sharp.
yeah. I just got my leg on one of them. Jesus.
Oh yeah. Ow. This stuff hurts your legs. Just be careful.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. What the hell is it? It's like itchy as hell now.
Here's another one right here. That's a deep one too.
Oh yeah. And in the 80s, when they took the temperature of like the gas that was below that gas station and it came up crazy high like that, how quick did they remove the gas station?
They pretty much shut it down immediately. I was surprised they didn't shut it down when they were getting all the carbon monoxide fumes going into the house itself.
Yeah.
John Coddington, who owned the gas station, almost died from it. And then when they did this measurement on the pumps, because the gas was evaporating out of the tanks, and it's up 172 degrees, and it's actually pumping out the cars at a buck and a half.
Yeah,
They
so
shut
walking
that
in
down
that
in-
tall stuff is not fun.
Step here, guys.
They're
Watch your
bleeding.
step.
Yeah.
Yeah, my legs are still burning.
It's like an itchy burn.
Not going through that way on the way back.
No, we'll find an easier way.
Crap actually cut me up.
Looks like this used to be a road here.
I just know this one is very easy to be allergic to a lot more than IVO and sumac, because if I was doing brush removal out here, I would have long sleeves and long pants on.
He's like that. It like jumps off the plant and onto him.
I'm not like poison ivy doesn't bother me because I encounter it all the time. I don't get itchy at all, but whatever that stuff is really irritating.
Yeah.
It just burns. I mean,
It's like stinging.
Better?
yeah.
Am I feeling hot?
What'd you do? Dump it down your shoe?
I just did it too. I filled my one shoe up with water. So it's squishy now.
Rather that than to be in pain. So.
Yeah.
It'll dry in half an
I got
hour.
like one spot, and then I walked around the street. The sign was behind a tree. And there was a mow line sign. And came back, and I know both my calves were just
Yeah.
on fire.
I never
Wish
felt
John
that before.
Lakitis was down here mowing now.
There you go. Yeah.
Holy cow.
What was he doing? Like taking a pickup truck out of town to just fill up a ton of gas cans for the ride on to come back and do lawns?
Well, basically, because the gas station is only about 4 miles away from where we're at right now.
Oh, okay.
And there's a couple of them to choose from. And the other thing to do, especially around May 30th, for May 27th, the anniversary of the fire being set. And Memorial Day weekend, that they could make sure everything's mowed and keep it looking nice. Had he still been around and been allowed to stay in town, he still would be doing it today. This is the, I guess, the chicken coop in the garage building here. You can see the wall starting to tilt this way a little bit. Even on this side too.
Hey, Joe. Walk around behind. Oh, well, okay then.
Yeah, that wasn't it. Wish I had a power washer. That'd be interesting. Get called, you have a power washer, you're doing your thing, getting rid of the graffiti. Cops want to see what you're doing. You're de-graffiti everything.
Yeah.
It is.
Kind of away from everything. Shady.
Right by where he's standing would be a good spot for a hammock.
Yeah. Get in here, get the driveway all down back here, all set up. The house right there. Yeah, this is someone's like workshop or garage or something. And the way this is cut in like this, I wouldn't be surprised if that was a house.
So if you guys have been with my channel long enough, you'll remember that a year ago we found that. But now we're getting a chance to see some things that I didn't find on my own.
Climbed up on there last night.
Yes, I did. That was when the knee was bad. More guts and brains.
No, same thing with me. I got no ACL and arthritis in the right knee. I still go in the mosh pit, and recently I got 2 ribs broken about a year ago.
Oh, fun! That is actually strong. If they'll hold me up, they'll hold you up because you weigh a lot less than I do.
So what's the point of standing on it?
You can see inside of it.
Oh, right.
You'll do. Yeah, stay more to your left because it's more supported there.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I was checking that out.
Oh, okay.
Go.
Actually not even in bad shape inside.
No, it's not.
There's only a few pieces of leaves and sticks, nothing.
Yeah. This is the actuator for the flap, which is down here. This is your flap, and this is where it comes out. And they would come down here on these grates, and they'd be able to clean it up, and they'd be able to just separate the dirt and whatnot and the contaminants from all the coal down in this area right in here. You know, they come in down in here, they can separate to get the dirt and the little stuff out, keep the coal, and then they can bring it back here and put it in their carts.
Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah, the first time I walked back here and seen this, I didn't know what it was.
Yeah.
I knew it was something for coal, but
Yeah, it's a sifter. And of course we got the chicken coop.
yeah, this was my first place I ever explored, and it was by myself.
Nice.
And I'm like, please don't find a body in there.
So far so good.
Yeah.
And of course we can't forget that we did find toys here, so it's officially an abandoned location.
Yeah.
Oh, no way.
That mound right there is a mound of coal.
This one.
So they probably had a coal stove or furnace somewhere around here.
How did that whole stereotype with the toys get started anyway? Because the second you said that, I thought of the thumbnail on Dan Bell's video for Picture Oklahoma, where it's dolls laying on the ground near a house.
Something I came up with last year, one of my videos, like, oh, there's another toy, and I guess it's abandoned. And then it was Christmas items. I'm like, well, toys are Christmas. It's abandoned, so.
Yeah.
I mean, other people say the same thing, but I kind of came up with it. Just go hand in hand.
It works out beautifully.
Then are the other clean cliche thing if somebody's doing an abandoned hospital or whatever, the lonely chair where you can tell somebody just stuck a wheelchair in the middle of the room, make it look like something was going on.
Staging. It's even got a concrete pad.
Yeah.
They built it to last.
I was trying to figure
That's
this
the way they
out.
did back in the day. I know they were saying when they were starting to tear down their houses in major form up here, they said they had a lot of trouble with it because of how well built they were.
Yeah.
Back then, everything was overkill.
I think they also said that with the Swift meat packing plant in Fort Worth, Texas, because they broke like 3 wrecking balls trying to take it down the first time, and then after that, eventually years later, they brought in other equipment and did it somehow. And the saying was something like, "Old man Swift built this thing to last."
It's like Concrete City too.
Yeah.
Those 22 houses. The one house, 100 sticks of dynamite, only blew one wall down.
Yeah.
So they said, we're just gonna leave them stand. It's
And
just-
yeah, empty
wasn't
out the
worth it.
entire supply they had at the time.
Yeah.
And they had the ultimate way at that packing plant to prevent people from going in to explore. They deliberately had a perishable delivery of like 4 pallets of meat dropped into the walk-in, and then they closed up and left. People were afraid to go in there just because of what it would smell like.
Down here is toilet, wall and stuff. Yeah. Want to see the toilet?
Of course.
You gotta see where Gregory and Cliff were thinking.
So what's that? There.
That is an abandoned shack of some sort. I'm not exactly sure what it's from, but probably just like a storage shed.
Nothing like some old creepy baby toys.
I left it in the car.
So this is actually a spot that I didn't see anytime when I was here. Okay, let's go sit on this toilet.
There you go. You gotta bring your own toilet. If you don't want to go that way, you just go down the Ashland, go to Main Drive-In. It's air conditioned.
Hey, you don't want to sit on this one today, it's full.
Yeah?
You know, if this address
But you're gonna have
showed
to
up on a
charge your
GPS, I
iPad
wouldn't be
because there's no
surprised if you
address
started
on
getting sarcastic Google reviews as though people were here, because if you look at the Six Flags in
You
New
want to sit down,
Orleans,
take a picture
all
of
the
it.
reviews that are
Jesus.
recent on there, people going, amazing,
Yeah, it is
no
full.
more, listen to you, all the guys going 0 miles an hour.
I'm surprised people are actually getting
Really
in the way they had that
around
place all secured.
Which one?
The Six Flags in New Orleans.
Any videos I've seen, it looks very trashed in there, so it doesn't look like they could salvage much of anything else out of it now.
Well, they probably could salvage, like, you know, like some of the roller coasters and stuff. If they were to turn around, they'd have to replace all the mechanicals in them.
Some of that equipment, otherwise, if it's scrap iron, I'm pretty sure it's got to be a certain amount before they would actually go in and take it out.
Yeah. Let's see here.
Anything else we got to see?
Uh,
Graffiti Highway, and that's about it, right?
yeah, there's a Graffiti Highway. There is one abandoned building up that way, or we can go up to the cars and we can go down to the other mining location down here adjacent to the Graffiti Highway. We can go to that one. I think that would be more interesting.
Okay.
So we can go up to the cars. We're going to shoot down toward Ashland a little bit, about a half a mile. There's still a place where we can park, and there's some more buildings in there. Ruins that we
Also, the geyser.
We got the geyser as well. We can look at too. So we got a.
I forgot about that. Oh wow.
We have a few
It's
places.
5-minute
to go.
drive.
Yeah.
Not too far.
So we got a couple of different. Yep, to the cars. We can do that.
Get some air conditioning.
Oh my
Yes.
God, yeah.
Now, I don't know any of the history on the structures that are over here yet. Still been trying to acquire that information. But there's some neat ruins over here. They're really cool to see. And there's a fire exit hydrant right there.
Yeah.
And that's our marking point. Go down that. Send you down that way. Trying to see here how we did this last time.
Probably straight back here.
Yeah, straight down here. Watch. Okay, we've got a tree limb here where I'm standing now. So you don't trip on that. Careful on this slope, it's steep, but still passable.
Oh, I didn't know these were back here.
Yeah.
You like that?
Oh wow. Oh God.
Yeah, I'll feel me come down. Hang on.
I was totally brain dead on this and forgot about this on the last
Thank you.
Yeah. Stone wall.
Huh? Something got my legs again.
Sticking again?
Yeah.
I'd rather you push me down.
That's it.
Huh?
Insulator. The size of that one.
There's a spider in there too.
Is there?
Yep.
There's wood in there?
Water bottle in there, Mom.
Yeah, I got it.
Found the other one, but it's not really.
Oh, you've been holding on.
I went completely, I was talking to everybody about this location here, and I went completely brain dead about saying, hey, we should come down here too.
Look at that whole shoe.
Yeah.
Got moss on it. There's a tree going right through.
Yes.
So this is something never seen yet.
Watch it. That last step's a woo-woo.
Yeah.
Let you go in here.
This is like incredible.
Yeah, I never knew this was here. There used to be structures where were in parts in the early 2000s, but they knocked those down. I never knew about these.
Taking heel.
You what?
Taking heel. Taking concrete.
Watch these, see the...
Yeah, I brought this up to 5 different people on the Torn Deep. I'm like, stupid. Why didn't you come down here? Well, I have one way over. You forgot about this place. Yeah.
No, the both are about the same size, but that one just has like a lot.
Lots of them.
Now, this might be a loading platform here.
There's no nails in that rig.
No, you're good.
You not want to go down or you want to...
Look right around here. Steps over there, too.
Oh yeah.
It'll be easy to come down this side and safe. Well, as thick as that concrete is, honey, that's not going to go anywhere anytime soon.
So this house back here was actually something I didn't even know existed.
Oh, you're right. We could have just done that, huh? I'm sorry. I'm just being careful.
I mean, even got me to your side. Whatever it was.
Whatever the stuff we walked through.
I haven't seen any of it here yet.
I'm feeling it again though. It's coming back up again. It's like it's on fire. It's like sunburn.
It's almost like a fire. Maybe it's from sweating. It's
Irritating.
When you start to sweat, yeah. She found steps. She's pretty excited.
Yeah, I remember one thing you said you knew about this location. It's like, oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, not this one in particular. It was across the street from one.
Yeah.
This is neat. And there's another structure over there, right?
Yes.
A little farther over?
Yep.
Not a whole
Yeah,
lot.
like a whole 15 feet.
It's really muddy over
This
here.
one's pretty good.
Yeah, that's a dumpster shot there. Like you said, this is definitely a loading dock.
Yeah.
And it's definitely another location to come down to the film.
That's flat. This. I'm almost guaranteeing trucks came in here or rail or something. You know,
Probably rail,
so they
because
could
there was
either load or
railways
unload.
down through here. So I'm thinking railways myself.
They would have loaded or unloaded for whatever that was for.
Yeah, and then they'd cook up over in Centralia and Railroad Avenue, and then go down through Ashland and whatnot, around the backside of Ashland.
There's another more of these.
Take you guys to Concrete City in Manchester.
Oh, that just stays there.
This looks almost like it's more modern.
Oh yeah. Huh. Trees are getting it. Huh. Yeah, I wonder what year this was built.
Definitely after the other one. Brick is the older one. This almost seems like it was maybe offices because they're like little small rooms, you know?
Yeah.
I never knew this was here.
I wonder if this actually had something to do with, well, no, probably not. I don't know.
Well, with coal there and stuff, I mean, it could have been some part of the operation for shipping or,
This may be put here at a later date.
yeah, definitely much more newer. Even this is all the old pull tab.
Oh,
for
wow.
Soda or beer
Yeah.
can. That's the old type. Let me see. There's a name on it. I can't read it, but it's. I don't know when they stopped using these, but I think there may be. My guesstimate is like 60s or 70s. They stopped using them.
That's cool. It actually makes me wonder too how much stuff's out here that hasn't even been found yet.
Yeah.
See the detail on this?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that looks more modern.
Yeah.
Compared to the other building. Hey, do you know when they stopped making these pull tabs like that?
I want to say somewhere between 88 and 91.
That recent? I thought it was
Maybe.
like 70s maybe. Maybe you're right.
Driving again?
Yeah, we're gonna go over to the geyser area.
We're just coming right from underground.
All right, guys, we are back over to Graffiti Highway. I'm going to try it out with the Spark DJI drone. So let's see how it looks.
Are you ready to see somebody's need for speed? I can put our wings in the wind faster than you could ever believe. Are you ready to rock? Fun that don't ever stop. We are on a crash course and freedom is running on as long as we want. Drive fast and let go. Hands up, wind blows. Soundtrack, stone cold. Sit back and turn it up, now here we go. Calling all my friends for a race. Revving up the engines, we ain't going nowhere slower. Fast cars and wild hearts, a better life. Heading to the top, you'll see us. Trying to be the best, no secret. Never touch the brakes to keep it. Fast cars and wild hearts, a better life.
Alright guys, hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up, consider subscribing, and I will see you guys in the next video.
The apocalypse.